We're here in the library, which is one of the oldest parts of the school that is still used much the same way it was in 1874. This room is opposite the front door and is quite a bit larger than it used to be, because not only is it longer, but also the two classrooms either side of it, which were two classrooms in the original school, have now been incorporated into the library. So it's about 4 to 5 times as big as it was originally. The library has always been viewed as a place for memory and some ceremonial. So the walls are decorated with photographs of all the former principals of Lisgar, including there's a big portrait of Wright Neal, who was the principal when I was a student here, and that was commissioned from the famous portrait photographer Yusuf Karsh. So I have a photograph here showing the library the way it was around 1910, and actually looking out into the hallway and beyond it right to the front entrance. When the school was renovated in 1976 and 1977, most of the rooms had their ceilings dropped and new lighting installed, so that a lot of the original appearance of the rooms was lost. But here in the library, as well as in the hallway outside, some of the original pressed tin ceiling has been preserved, and it's been painted and installed as a decorative feature of this room. But originally, most of the classrooms had that kind of decorative ceiling treatment in pressed tin. It's also been, there's a strip of decoration also in pressed tin around the cornice, the coving between the wall and the ceiling. So this is rather an elegant room, and certainly provides a nice place for reading or just having some quiet thoughts. While I'm here, I'd like to talk a bit about the way the school was built, because originally in 1874, it was just a rectangular box. It had 8 classrooms. It had larger rooms for the students in the basement, and it had the attic on top, which was used as the convocation hall with seating for up to 200 people. That school proved to be too small, and so in 1892, it was extended with 4 more classrooms. So the building became longer. The 4 classrooms were built going out towards Lisgar Street, but the stonework was done in exactly the same way. The same type of stone, the same shape windows, the Gothic architecture, and an extension of the existing metal roof. The stone for this building, incidentally, was a local stone. It came from Robert Skeed's quarry in Rothwell Heights in Gloucester. And it was a very gentle-looking stone, quite different from the Nepean sandstone, which was used to build the Parliament buildings. So it was a light gray and very restful stone to look at. And the same stone was used for subsequent additions to the building. The attic, unfortunately, after the rebuilding in 1892, the upper floors were completely destroyed in a fire and had to be rebuilt over the course of a year. And when they did that, they did a new style for the attic and larger windows in the attic to provide more daylight, and also 4 big chimneys to allow a new central heating system. Those chimneys ran from the basement up through the front hall and occupied a lot of space, made the front hall a very inconvenient area. So before long, those chimneys had to be removed and fitted in a more subtle way into the walls. In 1902, a further addition was done towards the canal, and that addition provided 8 more classrooms, and the bay windows, which you see from the outside facing the canal. That was 2 stories. The basement provided more space for the students initially, including locker rooms and a lunchroom or cafeteria. But later on, that space was adapted to be used as a woodworking shop for the boys. In 1908, the major addition to the school was the West Wing containing the auditorium, and this more than doubled the size of the school. About 12 more classrooms and laboratories, and also the large auditorium. It also provided a new boys' gymnasium in the basement, which today is the cafeteria. The main feature of this 1908 edition was the tall crenellated tower at the center with its circular window looking out from the top room of the tower. At the same time that the West Wing was built in 1908, an attic was put on top of the East Wing to provide one more floor, and that was what created the art room and the science lecture room, which later became the home economics room. So the school grew in many stages with different architects handling each phase of addition to the school, but preserving the basic collegiate Gothic architecture of the school.